Hey everybody, how you been? It's been a while. I'm back from my post-COVID coma. Uh, been a while. I pretty much spent the whole lockdown napping, so I'm back now. And since I woke up, I've listened to quite a few albums that have been put out this year, and I'm back to give you my opinion on them. I'd like to start by discussing the new Vader album, Solitude Madness. I believe that's what it's called. Double check on that. Solitude in Madness. I apologize. This is not a professional production. This isn't even a duct tape production. This is like a scotch tape production, and not even like a new piece of scotch tape, like an old one with hair all over it, so bear with me. But enough about hairy scotch tape. Let's talk about Vader and my history with the band. I actually, as a death metal fan, never liked Vader that much. Many moons ago, when I was young and still had a full head of hair, I looked into their album Ultimate Incantation, which everyone told me was a classic, and I didn't like it. Was not impressed with it. It didn't do anything for me. I was like, "Feh." I didn't like it. I ignored Vader for the next 10 or so years, and then I saw this was recommended to me on Amazon, and I was really bored because of COVID, and I was like, oh, what the heck, I'll buy a new album, and I bought it, and I was pleasantly surprised. Vader brings something not exactly unique to the table, but something interesting nonetheless. They ride the line between thrash metal and death metal extremely well, and I find their work to be somewhat reminiscent of like a weird mix of like Cannibal Corpse and Testament or Slayer maybe. You guys can argue amongst yourselves which you think they're closer to, but I think they do a really interesting mix of that kind of death thrash sound, and it worked extremely well on this album. To the point where I was genuinely surprised at how much I found myself liking this. The most interesting aspect of this to me is the vocals, which I think is why it reminds me of thrash metal more so than anything else. They're more of a clear but deep shout instead of the gurgly kind of death metal vocal thing we got going on in most death metal bands. So I actually really like that, and I find it quite interesting to listen to, and I find their lyrics to be very Slayer-ish, but also very clear at the same time. And the guitar work is, in my opinion, just phenomenal, along with the drumming. I don't know much about guitar work, but I know that I really like this. So I thought it was pretty good, all things considered. The album artwork, I think, is pretty interesting with the I don't even know what you'd call it, like the winged thingamabobber and the fountain of blood or whatever. It looks like a death metal album cover. It's good. It fit the album. It caught my attention when I saw it, so mission accomplished. I think this is probably one of my top death metal albums that have come out this year. I really enjoyed it, and I recommend it to anyone who's not really uh, a fan of Vader. Maybe just like me, maybe this album will change your mind. If you don't like death metal, give this album a shot anyway. You might like it. I recommend starting with the title, or I'm sorry, not the title track, the first track, Shock and Awe. I was really impressed the minute that just kind of kicks the door down and punches you in the teeth repeatedly till you need to go to a dentist. I was very impressed with the intensity of this album, and I was very impressed just overall. To the point where I'm probably going to go back here soon and look into Vader's back catalog and see what other albums I like by them, and maybe I'll talk about them here. If you guys would be interested in see that, let me know in the comments. Well, that's today's review, and hopefully next time we'll be talking about another interesting album I don't really feel threatened by. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. And if you really liked it, feel free to subscribe. I upload videos when I'm not in a coma from the COVID virus. Have a great day, everyone.